What is up, everybody? We are here for another hero ranking. Of course, we're doing Ironheart. I played 4 games with her, one in each aspect, even though I think she just thrives on gray. Against Hela, which was really fun. We won all 4 games. I may be using her abilities a little wrong, but someone will correct me, I'm sure. Regardless, we are going to go into this. This is going to be my own opinions, so please don't take anything offensively. If you do, I'm sorry. Anyways, moving on. Usually we do hero first and alter ego, but this one there's 3 versions of her, so we're going to rank both of them together. So version 1, 1, 2, 3, level up, remove 6 progress counters from Ironheart, ready her and swap her with version 2 Ironheart. Rory Williams 3, this stays the same throughout all versions. You begin the game with this card. Prodigy, spend a mental resource, place 1 progress counter on Riri Williams. Riri? Rai? I don't know how to say that. Williams. Then once per round. This is it's alright, you gotta make sure you have mental at the start of the game. That's what really helps push you over. This does not have aerial, which is alright. 1, 2, 3. That's kind of like an almost slightly normal, but a little less. So I ranked it a 2. So how did I do this? Okay, give me a second here. I need to add some more files here. Oh, where is it? 2 more. Okay, cool. So the first one I ranked as a 2. Moving on to the next one. Hopefully it loads. Computer's been a little low. No images. Okay, that's fine. Level up for version 2. Now she gets aerial, which is better. She's 2, 2, 3. Remove 6 progress counters, ready her, and give her a tough status card to swap her to version 3, which is awesome. You get that tough status. And this, spend a mental resource or 2 resources of any type to place 1 counter on, which is also really good. So this bumps it up to a 3. Where's this one? Right here. So you can probably guess where the next one's going. Does that one have images? It's loading. It's a little slow right now. Okay, no images. So aerial, version 3. 3 Thor, 2, 3. The hand size actually increases because when you're on version 1 it's at 4. And now you're at 6, the same as an alter ego, which is awesome. Remove 1 progress counter from Ironheart, deal 2 damage to an enemy. Now this does not say once per phase or turn. So in my mind, you can do this as many times as you want. So if you build up those progress counters and just use them all up, deal 2 damage for each one. And then for alter ego, which you shouldn't really be turning to alter ego when you get to version 3, but spend 1 resource of any type and place a progress counter on there. So that moves her up to, you can guess it, 4. Moving on to her next card, Brawn. I have a sneeze coming, sorry. Sorry, okay, Brawn is actually going, what did I mark as a 3. I only played him a couple times, but this might take a little longer than I wanted to. Okay, so Brawn. He's a 4, 2, 3, 3. Pretty great stat line, even for a 4 cost. But his resources really put him up to a 3. While Brawn is exhausted, so if you attack or thwart with him, you resource generate a mental resource. So another mental resource to use to gain progress counters, especially on the first or second version. And he's a strength resource. Alright, that's taken a while. Next is going to be Flyover. Can I hit next here? Nice. Flyover. Perfect. Flyover. Where is it? Right here. Flyover I put as a 3. 2 cost event. Threat, remove 3 threat from a scheme and place 1 progress counter on Ironheart. So it's awesome they added the progress counters in the actual hero form. 2 progress counters instead. If this is thwart, removes the last threat from that scheme. It was going to be a 2 because 2 for 3. Meh, it's still good. 3 is a lot of threat you can remove. That place 1 progress counter, that moves it to like 2.5. But the ability to make it 2 by removing the last threat bumps it up to a 3, almost 4 in my book, but I left it at a 3. Moving on to Photon Beam. This is essentially the same thing, except I made this one actually a 4 because it was really useful in my game against Hela to take out her minions really fast. So 2 cost event, deal 4 damage. Okay. To an enemy and place 1 progress counter. Already sounds good. 2 progress if you defeat an enemy, which I always use this card to pretty much defeat those heavy minions that you have to get through in order to get to Hela to her final stage, I guess you would say. So yeah, this is a 4 in my book. New and approved. Okay, this one is new and approved. Where is that? Right there. 3. Now, my first 2 games, I wasn't really sure how this card worked. Well, let's see that loaded now. But I figured it out. Like, you know, I realized how important it was by like the end of game 2, 3. That when you're on version 3, you get to choose all 3 of these. All 3 of these. Iron card into your hand. Give it tough status and ready Ironheart. Phenomenal card. But I did put it as a 3 because it really benefits once you get to version 3. So you have to take your time. If you get it at the start of your game, it's not really worth 3 just for 1 or 2 of these. But regardless, it's still a 3. Still a good card. Moving on to Sector Scan. Now this one is actually a 0. Because I never used it once. I'm not a fan of like manipulating or looking at the encounter deck. I think it gives me anxiety maybe. Plus 3 cost event just to look at it for the round. I don't know if it's quite worth it. Reduce the cost to play Sector Scan by X, where X is equal to Ironheart's version number. That's something I didn't pay attention to. So when you're at version 3, this costs 0. So it should be bumped up more in my case. But right now we have it at 0. That's where I did it. That's where we're at. Until the end of the round, you may look at the top card of the encounter deck at any time. Like I said, I don't like manipulating or looking at the encounter deck that often. Probably, like I said, anxiety. Energy resource. So this is why it's a 0, because I didn't play it at once. I didn't even think about it. As you can tell, I didn't even read the card properly. I just looked at that. That always happens to me. Moving on to Stroke of Genius. Stroke of Genius, I marked as a 4 because it really benefits. It's a response after you spend this card, place 1 progress counter on your identity and draw 1 card. So that's already very good. Draw 1 card and a progress counter. I would put this at 3. But the icing on the cake for it is when you use it for, especially at the beginning of the game, for the mental resource to get that progress counter with Williams's ability to spend a mental to gain a counter. This allows you to get 2 counters and draw a card. That's why this bumps up to a 4. Moving on to Ronnie Williams. Ronnie Williams is actually a 3. I think this is the highest, maybe the highest support I've ranked so far. Probably not, but 1 cost support, action, exhaust Ronnie Williams and alter ego. Heal 2 damage from your alter ego. Place 1 progress counter on your alter ego. So this is very good to help bump up those progress counters to get there faster, but you can also choose to heal if you don't need to worry about this that much. A wild resource as well. So if you get her first or second hand, I would lay her down. She's great when you have to go to alter ego for some reason. Tony Stark AI. Tony Stark AI is a 3. No, we don't want that one. We're using the pictures. 2 cost support. Action, exhaust Tony Stark AI. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Add 1 to your hand and discard the other. So this is essentially draw 1 card for exhausting. So really good card. Sucks you have to discard the other one. So you can't even use like Avenger's Mage to get it back. That's why it's 3. Maybe it could have been put it back on top of your deck. That would have been a 4, but maybe that's too powerful. But that's why it's 3. Moving on to Photon Blasters. Photon Blasters is going to be a 4. Oh yeah, we're not looking at that. Is going to be a 4. 2 cost upgrade. You get plus 2 hit points. This is what really tops it off at the 4. Otherwise, it would just be a 3 because you exhaust Photon Blast, deal damage to an enemy equal to your Ironheart's version number. So this is good to have like out on the board just right when you get it from your hand because it still deals 1 damage, but as you progress, it'll be there ready to go as you get farther in the versions. Really good. It's a mental resource. Moving on to the Jets, which is actually going to be the same reason, so I'm not going to go into that too much, and it's a 4 as well. Just because how powerful the cards get as the version goes up. This one is removing threat, so you can remove 3 threat at a time. So very good card. That being said, those are all the cards in her hero kit, 15 plus 3 more front and back with the hero and alter egos and the versions. So overall, her score is an 8 out of 10. If you agree with me, if you don't, please let me know what you think out of 10 she is. And what cards you think are below and what cards do you think are higher. This one probably deserves to be higher. I just didn't read it right. So that's that. So she would probably would have been higher, actually, on the list. But there you have it. That is my hero ranking of Ironheart. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And the links and the details below are all my links to my socials. Please check those out, and I will see you next time. Deuces.